Hey, folks, welcome to Site Lap. We're going to be looking ahead here to the Phoenix, Arizona, Glendale, I suppose we should call it, round of the Supercross Series this weekend. This is, of course, brought to you by Rock and Turf Landscape. If you guys have some artificial grass needs, concrete, you name it, Rock and Turf Landscape, these guys are awesome. Check them out. And also by Maxxis Tires, making some really killer light truck tires, sprinter stuff. So Maxxis.com, go check those guys out. We're stoked to have them. And we've got a special guest here joining Bruce Murata and myself, and it is former champion and badass Scottish dude all the way around, Dean Wilson. Dino, thanks for jumping in with us, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So we're looking ahead this weekend to kind of, as the series is just starting to kind of get into a rhythm of who's doing what, and kind of pairing out like the championship contenders versus the guys who just have had some bad luck and are kind of out of the points. Before we get to that, let's look at the city and venue here. State Farm Stadium in Glendale, massive stadium, super nice, fully enclosed, so we don't have to worry about weather. It is going to be 62 degrees with a 45% chance of rain. So if you're going, maybe bring a jacket or something just to get you in the stadium. But a cool stadium, like a big floor, it gives them a lot of options to do stuff. But man, you're always stuck with this dirt. It's like desert. I don't even know what you call it. Dino, you've raced on this a ton of times. Talk a little bit about how this soil is going to get, because it's the same every year.
Yeah, so I mean, the Arizona dirt's always pretty similar. In the morning, they do their best. They wet it. It's usually pretty muddy in practice, to be honest. They just try their best to get the moisture in there. And then these heat races are generally pretty good. And by the mains, there's some moisture in the turns, but basically has that hard packed base. So yeah, it's kind of pretty much the same every year. But I quite like it. I like the venue. I like the stadium. So yeah, I like it. And it's going to be a nice little change from last weekend. That Detroit dirt was just like
Yeah.
threw everyone for a loop, because last year it wasn't like that. And this year was just a little indie style, where it was very rutty and grabby. So yeah.
Yeah, and I actually I wanted to bring that up. Sorry, Ping, for cutting off on that, but I kind of heard that for guys, their bike setup coming into like Detroit kind of threw them off a little bit because they weren't expecting the conditions to be like that. And is that difficult, Dean, going into like Glendale, it being a hard pack, it's probably not gonna be as ruddy. Does that throw anything off,
No, not really, because I'm out in Cali right now. Tracks are quite similar to what we're racing there. So, but yeah, that going to Detroit threw me off for sure. Just like it was just very rutty and sticky and grabby, just like you've seen. And it was tough conditions. So back to Glendale. Yeah, good venue. Not the best dirt, but a bit Cali style. And yeah, it's a big floor though, so it's generally a really fast track. It's got long straights, long rhythms, and one thing I am a little bit disappointed and bummed on is this new rule where they're only building 9 whoops now, because whoops are my strong point. And this whole season we've had 2 mud races, obviously, and the rest are just like, they all kind of just turn into jumpers really, and it's I don't know. It's like we practiced these whoops to get good at them, and now we're just jumping them, and that's something that I need to get better at, because I was always a good skimmer, but it's kind of the jumping is important to learn.
Yeah, and this change, I hate that they're just going to more like, they're just making it so cookie cutter, where you can show up first lap, have a peek at it, and go, all right, yep,
Yeah.
that's a standard
Yep.
triple. I know exactly how to hit that. Like, you don't even need practice anymore.
Yeah,
I like when they make the whoops big and rolly one week and then fast and tight the next, and that change challenges you guys, right? Like, man, I don't want to see them be more similar.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just, I mean, I understand from because last year was so bad for injuries. They're trying to keep everyone healthy, but I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. We train at the test tracks to skim whoops, and that's something that is a big advantage, especially to me. And it's a big part of Supercross. Now they've limited it to 9, and I think they're using dozer whoops, not loader whoops anymore. So dozer whoops are never as big generally. So Yeah, but I guess, yeah, I'm not a real big fan of this new change because, I did press day at Detroit on Friday, and I jumped everything second lap, all the rhythms, everything. So I don't know. I think the bikes are really good now too, so that helps. But I'm just more bummed on the whoop situation.
Yeah, it's understandable. I
Yeah.
agree with you. Well, let's take a look at the 250 classes, our Maxxis Tires 250 preview. Um, who do you think will be like, who has sort of kind of concreted themselves as the title contenders? I mean, if you're looking at points, Smith, Kitchen, and Hampshire are kind of the three guys.
Yeah.
Guys like Thrasher and Shimoda and Beaumer have just had between the mud and DNFs, and you got injuries already kind of taking a factor in Voland.
Yep.
Are those our three title contenders for this class?
Yeah, I would say so. I think Shimoda definitely should be in there, but like you said, just a little bit of bad luck, some mistakes. So yeah, it seems like it's them three: Levi, RJ, and Jordan. So yeah, I think Jordan at A2, which was the last one. Unfortunately, I watched that one. But I feel like he threw away a lot of points at that one. Just three races. I think he had three bad starts, some falls, and but I think he's still got. Or oh no, Levi's leading the points now, right? Or they're tied.
Mhm.
They're tied. So yeah, definitely those three though are the title contenders.
And Bruce, and those three guys, who do you think has sort of the best odds this weekend? RJ Smith or Kitchen on a slick track, kind of like this? Is it pretty straight up? They all have the same shot?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, this always goes back to, everyone thinks I'm just being biased. I know RJ is my guy. But, with the talks I've had with RJ this past week, he knows he's in the situation now where he can't afford to lose races. It's coming down to the end now, where he's got to start winning to gain these points. So I have a lot of confidence that RJ is going to make that happen. And I do feel, though, Kitchen and Smith are going to be right there with him. I just have seen in the past, though, where Smith, he gets a little excited and it being a slippery course. That just scares me a little bit. Like, no disrespect to him. Smith's a great rider, but I just, I don't know. I think RJ's going to make it happen this weekend.
Well, I feel like Levi's kind of got the momentum. He's been chipping away at that point. He's been very consistent. RJ's been maybe faster at times, but had crashes and things. And right now, he's the guy kind of moving forward now with the tied red plate. There's some pressure on RJ. He kind of has to start getting wins, period. There's no more settling in for a second or third.
Right.
So how will those other two respond to that? I mean, this is round 5 for these guys.
Yeah.
There's only a few left. It's time to do it.
And that's why I go back to my comment about RJ is he knows he can't afford any mistakes. At the end of the day, it's racing. I mean, Dean, you've been in this position many of times,
Yep. No, it's time to collect those wins for sure and get the most points you can. And yeah, you never know. Sometimes you can be behind in points and just have one of those races like this past weekend where there's a massive first corner pileup and you come up massively in points, So that's just the sport. You never know what can happen. But if you look back at last year, I believe RJ was repping at this race. From what I remember, he was really good here last year.
He was.
So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be good. It's going to be good to watch. I'm looking forward to it. They're all, Shimoda is definitely going to be. He's going to be hungry to win as well. Like he needs to get a win under his belt as well. So because that's what he's expected to do. So yeah, it's going to be good. And then same as Jordan Smith. I mean, all these guys it's making it good racing. It's even though I'm racing, it's like even this weekend, I love watching these 250 guys. Like it's fun to watch and yeah, it's good racing.
Okay, so we've got, the guys who could really jump in and surprise this weekend. I have Beaumer, Thrasher, and Shimoda. Shimoda and Beaumer and Thrasher all really have different motivations. Shimoda just needs to get some wins because the season's been kind of a bust. Same with Nate Thrasher. He's got one, but out of the title chase completely. So it's like all he can really do is just go rack up wins, right, for his own wallet and future. And Beaumer, I think he just showed his speed at A1, but really hasn't shined since then. I think he wants to do it again. Of those guys, who do you guys like for the weekend?
That was Thrasher, Joe, and Juju, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, man, it's hard, but I really think Shimoda has, like I said, like, or it's not been a good season for him for being a championship, expected to be, a championship contender. So I think he is definitely a favorite to get the win. And then I think for Juju, he's just in kind of a cool position where it's like he's not really got, obviously he's got pressure to do well, but he's a rookie, and just put in some good results and learn as much as he can this year as a rookie. I'm sure he wants to get on the podium, especially after watching Dax get on the podium there. They grew up battling together. And then Thrasher's been like, other than some of his mistakes, he's been getting back on form really good lately. So, but out of the three that you said, I think I'm going with Joe on that one.
Jojo and Juju.
Jojo, Juju, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not good. And so for me, Ping, I would love to see Juju be able to do it. And I do believe like he can, but I still feel like he's still learning a lot. So if I had to bet money on it, I think just based off of just more experience, I would go with Shimoda. I think he would be the one that can do it. I think he's just kind of had that, man. I don't even know. I mean, I like this sport's so gnarly. I think he's just had so much bad luck for the beginning of the season. And I think he should be up there for sure as a top 3 guy. But I would love to see Juju just because I love watching his style, and I think it'd be cool as a rookie to get up on the box. And with the talks that I have with, Davey, he's man, the kid's he's definitely got a bright future ahead of him. That's for sure.
Well, those 3 riders are going to play spoiler in this championship because if you're RJ Hampshire, he's got to get wins, and he wants those 3 to get up and get behind him and put points between Smith and Kitchen and himself. So that can go both ways though, right? Because if RJ's sitting, bad start and those other 2 are out front, now he's got to work through those guys and try to minimize the damage. So lots to watch. I think Nate Thrasher has already got 1 win plus a Triple Crown win in Anaheim too. I think he's got some momentum going. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see him up there this weekend too. All right, let's jump ahead to the Rock and Turf 450 class. Kind of from this past weekend, man, we couldn't really figure out what was going on with Eli. It sounds like some kind of arm pump, but to see a champ like him go from 3rd or, right up in the mix to 10th was pretty heavy.
Yeah. That was, that was pretty interesting for sure.
Hey, Dean, talk about that track. Like you said, it was kind of stickier and ruddier than in the past and what you expected. It's been so cold back there. I just think the dirt was frozen when they brought it in.
Yeah.
But when it's tacky like that, man, it's easy to get arm pump, isn't it?
Oh, big time for sure. It was it's funny. The race is on right now, and I'm obviously out there, so I don't really know what's going on or what's happened till like I get home. I just hear a little bit, and then I watched the race, and like, it was uncharacteristic like of Tomac to go backwards like that. And obviously, sometimes like your general fan won't really understand, like, dude, when you have arm pump and it's that bad, it's either you try fight with it and have a big risk of crashing and getting injured, or you just tone it down a notch and swallow your pride and finish the race safely. You know how it is when you have arm pump. But I think that's what it was. Like, my other thought was, did he re-injure his Achilles? Like, did he get hurt or something? Like, it was really strange because he was kind of just cruising. But I believe it was bike set up, and when you have arm pump, it's on a track like that, it's hard. So that track was tough. Like, I'm watching it on TV right now, and like, TV just doesn't even do it justice. It doesn't look that bad on TV compared to how it really was,
Yeah, it was sticky. And when you do get that arm pump, you're just a sitting duck. I think he did the smart thing.
Yeah.
Just get to the finish. Just,
Yeah.
Never mind the points. Just make it to the finish line. This weekend, looking at this more hard packed stuff, I'm super torn because I think Jett, Cooper Webb, and Chase Sexton are kind of shaping up to be the title contenders for this fight. But I don't want to count out Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, or Ken Roxon.
Yeah, it's
And,
such a
and
stacked
really, even
class.
it's so stacked. And
Yeah,
then
the
even
whole
It's
class.
insane.
AP is only 2 points out of the chase. So, like, I don't want to
Yeah.
count anybody out. But Dino, I mean, as you're watching and what you're seeing there, and you're out there with these guys, like, what do you think about that?
I think you have a point for sure, but then it's like you said them three. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But then you just name another three or four. I'm like, well, yeah, they can win too. Like
Well,
it's the class. I really don't know if it's ever been this stacked, or at
no,
least like to where there could be so many winners. Like so. Man, it's so deep. There's a lot of hungry guys, and yeah, AP's looking good right now, though. He's got that confidence, and it's showing in his writing. And he's never been in this spot on a 450 before, but like, he's looking really good. I feel like Jett is the best writer out there at the moment still, but it's just him that I feel like can sometimes make mistakes, or But when I watch Jett, he does stuff that like not a lot of other people won't do, and he's just so like effortless on the bike. So
he makes the motorcycles just seem so light everywhere.
it's insane. Like he's literally on the TV as I'm watching right now, and it's just like he makes me look like a novice.
Well,
What I mean? It's just unbelievable. Like, and I don't know. It's impressive to it's cool to watch. And then Chase is obviously really technical too, but like, oh, I don't know. You could go on, like there's 10 guys that literally could win.
Well, and going Ping, I want to touch back to what Dino was saying about how stacked this class is. I mean, between motocross and supercross, including Dean himself, look how many champions are out there. I mean, it's unbelievable.
We scanned down the line at Anaheim, and just from one side of the gate, every single guy had a title to his name at least.
Yeah.
And you're just going, dude, what in the world is going on? Any one of these guys
crazy. And then, but I think I really think Cooper's looking. I think Cooper's looking good for this title too, though. Like he's lately just been really like looking
Webb,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he came from pretty far back to fourth, and like I don't know, he's locked in right now, and he's just a racer. He's just a dog out there. Like, and that's one thing. Like, I think he's got the bike skill and of Kenny and Jett? No, but he makes it happen, and I'm like not discrediting him at all there, but like it's just he's just got that determination and like that will, and that's just something that you can't. It's just something like that's hard to get and hard to have.
It is.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think if he can feel comfortable, he's gonna be tough throughout the whole season.
Well, he's actually going to be my pick for this weekend, because there's just something about Webb where he finds traction, especially when it comes to the slippery track. I don't know how he does it, but I don't know. He can find just these weird ways of just getting that extra traction in places that don't have any traction,
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's tough. There's so many good riders, and it's making the racing good, good for the fans. And yeah, it's exciting. So it's good. It's good for the sport.
Well, I have a couple of guys here that I want to keep an eye on. Aaron Plessinger, like you talked about, I keep kind of leaving him out of this championship discussion, but you can't argue with he's riding better than he ever has, and he's still only 2 points out of the lead. So I want to keep, an eye on him. And then also Justin Cooper. There's another kid that's had some really good rides this year. He was top of qualifying last week, both practices. He's riding really well.
Yeah, no, he is. He's I would say he's sneaky good, not a lot of hype or nothing, but he'll be, I don't know if is he top 5 yet? I don't know, but he's definitely knocking on the door for some top 5s. I believe. I put him in Ferrandis. Here he is right now battling with Barsha, but I don't know. He's good. You know, and I think he'll just keep
Yeah,
getting better too.
he hasn't had a top 5 yet. But I mean, he's been, with his. I mean, I know qualifying isn't always everything, but I mean, definitely has shown the speed where he could be a top 5 guy. So
All right. Well, let's wrap this up here. At the end of the day, none of us really have any idea who's going to win this one, which is great. That's what we want.
Don't. That's good. Yeah, exactly.
So, but if you had to put some money on somebody, Bruce, you said you're going with Webb. Solid pick. I think I'm going to go with Anderson. This is kind of like feeling New Mexico vibes to me. Hard pack, a little slick. I think he was a little under the weather last week, so he wasn't feeling it. I feel like he's going to be refreshed, and Ando's coming in to kill some people in the turns this week. What do you say?
Yeah.
You going to pull yourself to win?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. Nah. Let me think here. I'd love to say myself, but no, let's see here. Like honestly, fuck. Like you said Jason, like I just didn't even think of Jason. Like, I'm gonna go with wild card. I'm gonna say Tomac brings it back.
Oh, I'd love that. I would love to see that. I just want to see the points stay tight. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Dino? Top 10? Where can we put
That's
Dino
my
this
goal.
week?
I want to be like, relax on it easy. It's not easy.
Come on, Dean. You got it, dude.
I want to be in that, like, my goal is just to be in that 8th to 13th range. Like that's a window where I should be, and that's realistic. And just I almost feel like every round something has happened. Like first round cleaned out, second round mud race, third round another mud race, right? Sunday top 10, got 10th there. Fourth round didn't qualify, and then fifth round last weekend I came together with another rider. So I just need to pull it together here.
Just got to stay out of trouble, buddy. You got
That's it. Exactly. Stay out of trouble and we'll be good.
Well, dude, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for having me. And we'll see you guys at the races.
We'll see you out there. Best of luck, Bruce. Thanks. And a big thank you to our sponsors. Guys, as always, join us Monday for Riders Meeting. We'll break down all the action from Glendale. Thanks to Dean Wilson. For Bruce and I, we'll see you. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.